Yo, what is going on, guys? Today I'm bringing you another top 5 back on the channel, and today, guys, what we're going to be looking at is the top 5 reasons that Black Ops 3 may be considered more and more pay to win, and that being more of a predominant factor in the game as the game goes on, or just in general. So anyways, without any further ado, we're going to get straight into it in the number 5 spot, then obviously going up in relevancy and more concernity, if that's a word, or being more concerned about these kind of positions or why it's pay to win, or these actual reasons for pay to win, as we go up the list all the way down from 5 to number 1. So in the number 5 spot we have stat differentiation. Now this isn't kind of too relevant, but it's more relevant to people who have like melee weapons and stuff, and everybody who's getting the melee weapons, because if you didn't know, they're not exactly the same to the combat knife. I mean, I know a lot of people will be like, well, that's freaking pointless, machine, because in the first place, you know, you don't have a preset knife on there, it's just your fists if you ever want to go melee someone. Well, the fact is that people actually like getting montage clips with these weapons, and some are easier than others because of the stat differentiation, and there actually is, if you watch any in-depth stat video on the melee weapons, they're all different from the combat knife, or there's some better than others, which I think in itself isn't exactly fair, because of the fact when you get a knife, it's just a knife, it's a melee weapon, it does one thing. And I know the fact comes into it where you can say you can spend crypto keys on supply drops to get these weapons. Well, think of the drop rates for these melee weapons, or any new DLC weapon overall, it's not exactly extravagantly high. So the fact is that they're different or better or superior to the combat knife, and I'll put a video in the description down below by Tabor Hill. He compares the combat knife to, I believe, 5 of the other melee weapon kind of animations. I believe one of them's the NX Shadow Claw bayonet attachment, and then the others are like the Fury Song, the Iron Gym, the Brass Knuckles, the Butterfly Knife, or something like that. But anyways, if you want to check that out, that's in the video description down below if you're more interested in that. And hopping into the number 4 spot, which also actually kind of ties in with stat differentiation because it's to do with stats and their differentiation over time, we have DLC weapon buffs. Now, weapon buffs in themselves, I mean, I know I can get the fact and everything understandable about having overpowered weapons in the game to start off with that aren't DLC weapons, and then there's patches, there's nerfs and stuff like that. But I think overall, the DLC weapons, I mean, they're kind of like a little gimmicky thing. A lot of the reason for having them in the game is to promote, like, I don't know, getting more money for Activision and stuff, people buying supply drops to actually get these weapons, hence why they make the rates of them so low when they first come out, or just that little bit more rarer than a regular camo, like the Firebrand Legendary camo. You guys get my drift, they're pretty hard to get overall, so you're not really going to make them too good, because then people will be like, well, they're hard to get, no one's getting them, and I'm going to cry because of the fact I don't have it and it's really good. But recently, I don't know if you guys noticed about the HG40, but that is a melt machine. Now, I know I'm the friendly machine, and that was an awful pun, please kill me now, God, but yeah, I mean, it's a really good gun right now, the HG40, and it's killing me at like 3 shots at any range. I don't know why that is, but the fact that they're tweaking like silently these DLC weapons, it makes me think that they're kind of encouraging and prompting more and more, not just by the fact they're adding new weapons a lot, or not just by the fact that they're actually making all these kind of offers on supply drops and stuff like the weapon bribe and everything, that they actually want us to buy more supply drops because of the fact they may increase or decrease the rates in these supply drops and everything. I know the weapon bribe is there and everything like that to actually help us, that we actually unlock in itself. So a lot of people will say pay to win's gone out the water, but think about it. Jest bribes and stuff like that, or gesture bribes, sorry, were able to purchase for like 300 COD points each. So why can we not purchase with our COD points to know we're going to get a designated U weapon out of these weapon bribes for like 300 COD points? Because I think that's very reasonable due to the fact of all the money they've already claimed off of the supply drops, the COD points and everything. And obviously that doesn't just tie in with multiplayer, the COD points, there is also Liquid Divinium in the number 3 spot. So everything to do with zombies, it's never really been touched in terms of pay to have an in-game kind of proficiency or optimization to what you're doing, but I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys know really that Perkaholic is the main gobblegum in zombies, where it gives you all the perks on the map, and more so throughout the paid DLC maps, we're getting more of a benefit through that. So the more we pay, it seems, the more like we're winning, because we're getting more perks. I mean, it started out with the Giant as a season pass kind of exclusive map where we could only get 6 perks from our Perkaholic. Shadows of Evil we got like 7, but now Darius and Draka and also Zetsubo no Shima we get 9 perks, and we can do that on round 1 because there's always a gobblegum machine in the first room, and on solo you can keep resetting that until you see the orange colour gobblegum and the Perkaholic obviously coming out. So these bigger YouTubers, it kind of applies to them more, because they'll do streams and stuff when these maps first come out, and they'll say, oh, donate so we can see what we need to do for an Easter egg step, or suggest something by donating so it comes up on my screen. So every time they freaking stream, they will also stream it on several different websites, which doesn't only just mean Twitch is the best platform, because obviously you can donate on Twitch. I'm not sure about YouTube or anything to do with that, but what I do know about YouTube streaming is is that it's very good for your YouTube channel. I don't know if you guys know about the analytics side of YouTube, or the kind of search results, or the optimization in putting your video out there to a larger audience in the recommended and stuff at the side of people's videos that you've just watched. But the fact is, if you're watching through a stream, it will put that in the recommended more, it will put that in kind of more people's faces, larger people's audiences and stuff like that. And if you've got a thumbnail that's actually half decent and it actually expresses what you're doing throughout the stream, people will want to watch that. And the more people who have watched through the stream is different to a video overall, because if you look at the average time watched in your video, like the average watch time, like say for a fact it was like 3 minutes, 4 minutes or something like that, your average viewer duration of the video, then that will be different to a stream, because a lot of people like to sit down, you know, enjoy their favourite YouTuber stream or streamer stream each night, or when a new DLC map comes out. So when they're getting all these donations, and when this is helping out their YouTube channel, they get money from the YouTube video as well as a larger audience and a bigger subscriber base, which is also just completely worth it, even if they don't get their profit back of spending $1,000 on COD points to get either liquid divinium or these new weapons in the supply drops. So they're benefiting every single way, and they can kind of get percolic for free in a sense, because they will just do that anyways, because they know they can earn it back off the donations of Twitch, or off the money they will earn off the YouTube videos they're going to make overall throughout the whole kind of zombies tutorials, or the Easter egg, or just figuring stuff about the map, or high rounds. And that is a very, very predominant factor for these bigger YouTubers, and I think it's kind of stingy that that's easier, and you can have an optimization in terms of in-game zombies like Gobblegum, but not only that, being able to purchase them, because I know a lot of people wouldn't want Gobblegum in the first place, because zombies was just like, you do here what you do in the game and you do what you can to survive. But now it's like I'm organising stuff out of the menu screen and stuff like that, so I can actually give myself a better chance of surviving, like getting all the perks on round 1 without the power on, and I'm getting 9 of those from the Gobblegum machine. Like, what is going on, guys? Like, come on. I mean, if you go back to World at War Zombies, you'd never expect that, but I'm not complaining about the Gobblegum, because I think it's a very unique feature, and I think it is a good feature overall for Black Ops 3, but it's something to think about in the number 3 spot, like I just said. So coming in at the number 2 spot, creeping its way up to that really, really predominant factor spot, the number 1 spot, in the number 2 spot is the unique DLC weapon features. Now, I don't think a lot of people have brought this to light on any other weapons besides the RSA interdiction compared to the other snipers, because in Black Ops 3, the standard snipers like the Locust that have already been put in the game since day 1 have no target assist. Now, if you don't know what target assist is, it's where you aim near someone and it kind of locks onto them, kind of aiming onto them for you, and it also does this with assault rifles on many of the Call of Duties and stuff like that, or targets when you're actually aiming down a firing range in campaign like on COD 4. So you guys will know what target assist is if you've played Call of Duty for at least a year or 2 years right now. You guys know what I'm on about anyways, because I've just explained it. But anyways, none of the snipers in Black Ops 3, they don't have target assist pre-put into the game like the Locust since day 1, like I just said. And the reason for that is, I think, first of all, is because of the movement system. A lot of people may think it's kind of putting them off, because it maybe locks them on somewhere else, but then the boost jump in the air and then they don't get the shot. But the RSA interdiction, I've had a lot of kind of debates with people and a lot of conspiracies of people that it does have target assist, and a lot of people are saying that as well. So why would they add target assist as a unique DLC weapon feature for a sniper, as the only target assist sniper in the game that is primarily, you know, paid for, because of the fact that the drop rates are very low? I know the weapon bribe supply drops are in Black Ops 3 right now, but before that, think about it, guys, or just think about it overall, because what are the chances of getting the weapon you want out of a weapon bribe supply drop? I know I got the FFAR overall, and I was very lucky to do that, but think about it, guys, you don't really go out of your way and go, oh, I want the RSA interdiction because, you know, I'm a sniper and I want the freaking aim assist on the sniper. A lot of people just generally want the newest weapon, or one of the newest bundle of weapons like the Skull Splitter or the FFAR, like I just said. So the fact that they've added a unique feature to snipers which completely contradicts everything else they've had about snipers in Black Ops 3, and it's a DLC weapon, is kind of unfair, and I really think that is a pay to win factor, because of the fact a lot of people still like to snipe. Although they do it on a lot of older Call of Duties now, I think they've kind of tried to revitalise the sniping and the community in Black Ops 3 by adding this weapon in a little bit, because people will obviously want to use it for when, you know, they're going for clips or they're going for trick shots or whatever, because it has that target assist that other snipers don't have that are already in the game since day 1, like the Locust that I keep referring to. So now in the number 1 spot, I want to mention a big factor to you guys is best better weapons as we go along. Say for example at the start we only had melee weapons. Now if you compared that to what we have now, the FFAR, which I'm guessing stands for the fastest firing assault rifle, because it would make sense, right? It makes sense in the category it's placed in. It is the fastest firing assault rifle out of them all, without rapid fire, and with rapid fire as well, compared to all the other assault rifles with rapid fire, it fires the fastest out of them all. So I'm guessing that's what it stands for. I just kind of thought of that in my head a few days ago. But as well as that, they're also influencing more deals and more features and stuff, like 50% off supply drops and stuff like that. That's encouraging us to actually buy more supply drops for when these new weapons drop, because we know we're going to get more progressive, better weapons as they go along, and we're getting them for different categories as well. So they're making them better as they go along, but they've also done that without us noticing for the melee weapons, like I said, in the number 5 spot, where they have differentiation in stats. But also we've been getting better weapons overall. Like say for a fact we started with the Marshall 16, some specials like the NX Shadow Claw, then we go up to an assault rifle, which is the big hitter really for people, the debate or anything about people bringing up the debate of pay to win in Black Ops 3, because it's a assault rifle, it's very powerful, and you can only really get it if you buy a lot of supply drops or open a lot, which entails buying them most of the time anyways, because crypto keys are a grind to get. So in the first place of actually buying the supply drops, then they're obviously going to add more and more weapons, but the weapons they've been adding are getting buffed, like the HG40, and they're also getting better, because obviously we've first of all got our fully auto gun, which is the HG40, but now we've got one that is, you know, made for range, or actually made more for range in the category of an assault rifle like the FFAR, and they're going to add more guns in every individual category. So imagine LMGs, and imagine what type of damage the LMG will deal, because obviously they want to make it a little bit more superior or unique to the other LMGs like the Gorgon, the BRM, the Dingo, which are also very kind of overpowered weapons, or not really overpowered, but they deal a lot of damage when you actually can place them in the right hands or shoot people or land your shots correctly. So that is the number one reason. Better weapons as we go along, and fear for the future that there will be some very, very overpowered weapons, but tying in with the other factors as well of stat differentiation and DLC weapon buffs. Obviously they can add them in very silently without us knowing, and that might prompt people to think, you know what, I want this new weapon because I'm sick of using these weapons, I want to try and get good with a DLC weapon, or I want to get a gameplay, or I just want this anyways because I want all the weapons in Black Ops 3. And in order to do that, the frequency of doing that is better to actually buy the supply drops instead of grinding out the game and then being disappointed by the time that you've spent it, rather than the money you've spent on COD points to open the supply drops. And I know this video has been kind of long, but if you could slap a like on the video down below, this put a lot of thought in my head, and I went through a lot of thought process to actually make this video. So hopefully you all enjoyed today's video. I know it's a very unique video, and I know I had a prior top 5 to this video on my channel, so slap a like on the video down below if you want me to double upload today, or if you enjoyed the video overall and I love all your faces, slap a like on the video down below, and I will see you in the next upload. Peace out.